Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. So today's video is kind of an unexpected video for us. So yesterday evening, there was a no-name storm. Y'all probably seen it on the news off the Carolina coast. They were calling for us to get 1 to 2 inches off of it, and you know, nothing major. We needed a little rain anyway. Well, y'all, our best guess is it rained anywhere from 8 to 10 inches. Andy's mama lives right down the road. Her rain gauge stops at 8 inches, and it was running over. Ours, we emptied it at 5, and it had been running over for who knows how long, and we emptied it, and this morning when we got up, it had another 2.5 inches in it. So...
And most of this fell yesterday afternoon. Evening.
Yeah. So it was a lot of rain in a very short time. We thought Tropical Storm Debbie was something.
Little Debbie didn't have nothing on this storm.
No. So we're going to go around and show y'all what it looks like. You're going to see our first reactions because, yeah, we hadn't went around and really looked much yet.
And one thing I want to say before we get too far into the video here is the eastern part, like down on the coast, they got some like...
They got slammed.
Yeah, they got slammed out of this. I want to say some places, what was it, 20-some inches of rain?
In a very short time.
And, you know, so that's all flatland down there, so everything was flooded. There's roads washed out. It's a disaster down on the coast of North Carolina from what I've seen on TV and, you know, like on the social media and stuff. Here locally, we got several little roads that are washed out and several that were flooded last night.
Like public roads.
Yeah, public roads.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen any of those firsthand, just seen pictures on Facebook. But all I can say is we had to go somewhere around, was it, what, 7:30 last night? When we were coming home, it had been, I don't know if I've ever seen the road ditches and the culvert pipes and everything as full as they were last night. All the culvert pipes in people's driveways and under roads and stuff were flowing as much water as they could possibly flow and still running over. Like it was crazy. It's been a long time since we've had that kind of rainfall in that amount of time.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, and the thing was, the storms just kept coming. They just kept coming, and like it was just along, because we're close to Virginia, and it was just along like the Virginia line and everywhere else about an hour down the road from here.
They didn't get near as much.
Yeah, they barely got any. So, like I said, they were calling for 1 to 2 inches, and I think the same thing happened on the coast. They weren't calling for much rain, and they got slammed just like we did here.
We'll show you some pictures, though. We'll insert some pictures, but we took pictures of it last night, and that's the first time I've ever seen that creek out of the banks down there. It got out of the banks down behind Mom and Daddy's house and flooded a little bottom down there, but we wasn't able to cross the creek last night to see what our garden looked like.
And it was dark. So.
And it was dark, and so all we could tell was there was water over there across the creek. So
that was flowing like a river.
Yeah. So we're going to go see what it looks like. So down here where the steers are, which this is to be expected. Y'all, there's a lot of water that funnels and comes right down through here. But I've never seen it doing what it was doing last night. All of this looked like one big river. For some reason or another, it started coming across the road up there, which it normally don't do. It was coming from the other side of the road, coming down the hill across the road. I guess that ditch on the other side of the road filled up and it couldn't handle anymore.
Well, you can see, look how much it's washed against that water hose.
Look what the water hose caught right here. It washed up under the barn right there and was just like one big river coming down through here. And like the driveway here, which this is normal. When we get a big rain, this always washes and I have to fix it. But we've got some pretty good washes in that right there. But look at this. We got a big old washout right there that went under the hay rake and under the back of that trailer. But look at how much sand built up right here against my snowplow. That's supposed to be about that far off the ground. And now it's built up like this. So I'm going to have to move the snowplow and everything and pull all this back up in there. But you can tell this is all fresh too. It's soft. But it washed down through the apple trees again. Washed away from the roots of that apple tree. All of our gravel's laying down there in the grass. I don't think I've ever seen it do that.
No. Yeah, the water don't usually run like that, but look at that one.
Which
you can see where the grass is laying down.
Yeah, and the water's still running right here. See it?
I see it.
Yeah, this was like a river last night around these few apple trees right here. I hope it don't hurt them.
Yeah, because we fixed where the water usually comes from.
Yeah, look at the gravel that's laying out here in the grass. I mean, look at that. I've never seen it carry all this gravel down like it did. So once it dries out, we'll have a little bit of work to do cleaning up some of this mess for sure. But this ain't the biggest of our concerns. This is just a little bitty piddly thing right here. I want to go down there and see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Washed down that bank right there pretty good too.
See that?
A chunk of wood that got carried up from somewhere. I did notice that I've got to dig out right there just a little bit because that culvert was overflowing before it got to the culvert. So I guess we've never had that problem before, but I guess I need to dig out that ditch just a little bit deeper. But other than that, the road held up pretty good, didn't it?
It did. I'm glad. I'm thankful for all that work you did.
I know, it done really good.
Because we wouldn't have had a road left.
Oh no, we wouldn't have been able to get in here right now. Look what a sandbar over there.
Oh, look!
Golly.
Here's first look in the daylight hours.
So before we cross the creek right here, I want to show you, we will show a picture right here. And the picture was taken from right here. All of this was underwater and the only thing you can see sticking up is our fire pit in that picture. So this is as far as we was able to come last night, or late last night. And we could tell that there was water coming down the road over there, coming out of the creek. Look at how that sandbar's washed up.
I see that. Wow.
Look at this. It don't even look like the same place. Look at the sand that filled in right here.
I see that.
Creek change.
Well, it definitely got up into the garden because the net's down.
Yeah, the net's gone.
It washed the net down. We may have us a mess over there.
But it completely changed the way the creek is because these rocks are changed and our rock island that was right here is gone.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
Wonder where all these rocks come from.
This
ain't
usually
never been like this.
Yeah, this is usually sandy.
Wow.
Tiger says she's gonna test it out.
That wasn't too bad.
Where's that hose go to?
That hose was laying up here on the bank. I guess the water carried it down. Luckily it didn't wash it away. That's the hose from the old water pump we had down here a couple years ago. But it looks like the water got out and was coming right across here. Evidently it did something up there too though.
I see that.
All that net's down.
I believe
Wow.
it was all.
I believe it was all underwater. Just from looking at this. My goodness, look right here, Megan. So this is the wire coming from the electric fence. And it's pulled it
Never in
down.
my life, or at least as long as we've been living here, I ain't never.
No, I've never seen the water out on this side of the creek, ever. And this was like a once in a several year thing right here.
Yeah.
The wire, I believe it ripped it off the fence over there because it was wrapped around that tree.
So there's our wire. Remember us showing you the other day how we get power down here? This is the bad part about running it across the creek.
Oh yeah, it definitely washed it off the fence. Look right here, because the wire's laying plumb up in here.
It's all wrapped around that log right there, Andy.
Dad, look, this is our new sand place now.
I know, y'all got a nice sandbar to play on. Look at that.
Well, I don't know how it done it, but it's wrapped up in this right here.
Yeah, there's the wire. It goes around that tree and wraps back around that way.
This is insane. Well, the creek's flowing now.
Yeah.
Ain't you glad we got our taters up when we did?
Oh my gosh. I know.
And you know, luckily, y'all, this ain't no big issue because we don't have nothing left down here but the pumpkins, and they've already pretty much done what they're gonna do. So we ain't exactly lost anything here. We just got a mess we gotta clean up. This is crazy. So all of this right here must have been getting out. Look at where the water flooded through here. I wish we could have got over here last night.
And seen it?
Yeah.
Yep, the net's down all the way. Yeah.
I figured we was gonna come down here and find all these pumpkins washed up against the net.
I know, right?
But yeah, evidently the water was coming in from this side too. Look how it caught the net and was pushing it. I'm guessing this right here was catching water from the looks of it.
Yeah, I guess it was flowing through here. It had to be,
so the water
right?
looks like it was flowing right through here and flowed right down through there.
Well, we can we can see our pumpkins now.
I know, they're very, very obvious where they are. But you know, y'all, we said that we were scared. The reason we were getting our sweet potatoes up when we did was because once it started raining, it would be a couple of weeks before we was able to get in here. Well, it will literally be a couple of weeks of dry weather after this to do anything.
To do anything. I can't believe, look, I mean, you can see where it went.
It was, look, down through here too. I ain't never seen water come down through here like this.
So look right here, it's still running right there, Andy.
It's still running right here too. Look, it looks like it was another creek coming down through here.
Where would that have been coming from?
I guess it broke over way on up the creek somewhere or another and come down, because there's always been like a washed out ditch right here. But I don't know that I've ever seen water actually flowing in it.
I mean, this would look like literally a creek was coming down through there.
Yeah, and it's still flowing just a little bit. But something like this makes you think, because it's like we've said in several videos in the past, especially on the one where little Debbie come through here.
Yeah.
I said in that video I'd never seen the creek out in this bottom right here. And just because you ain't never seen it don't mean it can't happen.
Yep.
You just never know. So if you've got anything around a creek,
this is always a possibility.
This is a possibility for sure. So look right down through there.
I think our net's down in there somewhere. If it didn't break it.
Oh yeah, I see it. Wow.
Yeah, that water's flowing pretty good right through here. Look, I mean, water.
Yeah, all of this right here was underwater. I really wish we could have got over here and seen it last night. Look at this. It just toted the net right on down.
It went on with the water. You must have had it in the ground good right there.
Evidently, didn't I? Yeah, all of this was weeds that were standing up this high. It laid every bit of that over, so you know it had to been a lot of water coming through here to push over all them weeds. Lord have mercy. Well, the creek was out behind Mom and Daddy's house in that little bottom back there. And the only other time I remember it being that way was when I was a kid. And Daddy had a bunch of equipment and stuff parked down there, and every bit of that was underwater at that time. And it was out like that last night. And like we said, well, we're expecting we got anywhere from what, 9 inches, something like that?
9 to 10, I'd say, yeah.
And that's a lot of rain to fall, because once...
Well, it started, what, after 2 or 3 o'clock?
Yeah, after 2 or 3 o'clock. Right around 2 or 3 o'clock, I think we had right at about 2 inches. But after that, these real heavy storm bands started coming through. And I'm telling you, I ain't never seen it raining quite like it was raining last night.
All this is still
All of this was underwater.
standing.
Look at this. It busted over right there. But it's amazing how fast it goes down though.
Oh my goodness, look over here, Andy.
Yeah, I see it. You got a big old hole.
Where did that come from?
Well, the hole was already there, but I ain't never seen it standing in water.
Well, right now it's a creek.
Yeah, it looks just like a creek, don't it? There's water flowing and everything right there. That don't normally flow water. I do think there is a spring right in here though, because this is always sort of damp, but I've never seen water flowing like it is right now.
Look at the trees and the mist.
Well, that's the way this year's been, y'all. It's either all or nothing. We don't get rain or we get it all. I mean, I have to say that, once again, I'm not complaining because we needed rain, but we didn't need no 9 inches of rain. But it's amazing, I mean, how this year's weather pattern has been.
Well, I'm just thankful that, you know, it could have been a lot worse than it was.
It could have been, and I'm thankful that we were already done with harvesting down here out of this garden.
Yes.
Because if we hadn't have been,
it'd have been done.
Oh yeah, we'd have lost it right there.
All right. Look, you see how much water? Look, all this was underwater last night.
Yeah, I told Jacob we have a trail.
Yeah, it cleaned out this little foiler trail right here real good, didn't it? Y'all got a nice sandbar over there to play on. I can't get over all them rocks though.
The creek is sandbar over there.
The creek has changed.
Yeah, but look at that sandbar over there.
Yep.
They used to be running real slow.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll probably be down today.
Wow. Yep, that's craziest. Reckon this is the only time in our life we'll ever see this creek got out like this.
Might be.
Yeah, that was better than that horse.
Yeah, it was. I can't get over how it jerked that net around like it.
I know.
Well, there's a lot of water, I guess, coming through here.
And there's still water through here. And I walked through the middle of the garden. It's very muddy.
You walked out in the garden?
Yeah, and I walked all the way through it.
Hey, it carried my water hose down because that water hose was curled up right here. And now it's laying right there. I forgot it was laying over here.
I'm glad that it didn't wash away.
I am too. I'm glad it didn't wash my top for my tiller away.
Hey, yo.
Well, like I said, I mean, we weren't prepared for this.
No, they wasn't calling for this much rain. They said we were going to get roughly 1 to 2 inches of rain here. And I think most areas got 1 to 2 inches of rain. But like she said, right here across the North Carolina-Virginia border, they just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. You could go 30 minutes south of here, and their rain was done hours before us. Yeah, I believe it was all underwater. I believe the whole thing was underwater. If any of it wasn't underwater, it was right there in the middle, where it's just a little bit higher than everything else. I guess that's a risk you take when you got a garden down on a creek, but...
Yeah, but we're pretty good ways from the creek.
Yeah, it's almost like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That's crazy. Well, guys, it's a couple hours later, and I don't know if you can tell it or not, but it's actually turned out to be a nice day. So I got to thinking about it, and I am a little bit worried that the deer might get in here and try to do something with these pumpkins. If you don't know, deer will actually take their hoofs and stomp down on a pumpkin and bust it open and eat the insides out of it. And as hard as we've fought to try to keep these pumpkins, I would hate for that to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this mess cleaned up and go ahead and get the netting and everything put back like it's supposed to be, and get the wire out of the creek and get it out of all that mess and try to get everything back to normal down here. Just look at this, y'all. Like we said earlier, I do wish we could have been down here to have seen what this looked like. I wish it could have been in the daylight hours. Let's put it that way. Because all the flooding was really going on right at dark and after dark. And so, you know, most of it, you just couldn't see it. But I sure am glad we got that popcorn and them sweet potatoes up. But I guess the first part I'm going to tackle is this right here where it washed this net down, and see if I can't get all that right there untangled. I hope I can get this straightened out. This is a mess. All right, there's the first piece done. It must have twisted it up when it toted it down through the water. So everything's all twisted. There we go. Oh, there's the actual end. This is the fun part right here. You got these sticks that get caught up in that netting, and they'll just hold every bit of it together. Lordy me, what a mess. Well, there's the first piece of it fixed. Now we'll get this right here fixed and get all the leaves off of the bottom of it so it doesn't short out. Then we'll go up there and tackle the other end. Luckily, it ain't none of this twisted up. It's just got leaves all over it. Boy, that right there is soft. Cut this racket off. Turn this one back on here. There we go. Now I got to get the power wire straightened out. I think I've got the netting back in pretty good shape. So as for the power wire, you can see it bent over that post right there because it pulled this wire so tight. And then the wire is supposed to run over to the fence. Well, it did come unhooked from a fence. It did not tear the fence up, but it washed it. It's tangled up in that log, wrapped around that tree right there. I think it's tangled up in the roots of that log. And then there's something up in here that's holding it. The end of it, I'm assuming, is up under there somewhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is get it out from around this log here. And then I may cheat and hook the Kubota to it and try to pull it out of this mess. That is, if I can't pull it out by hand. I hadn't tried too hard at it yet. Well, I was wondering what kind of log that was, but after I cut into it, I found out real quick. That's an old pine. That would probably make some pretty good firewood, because that thing has done got hard. Turned into what we always called laddered wood. Oh man, it's twisted all up in this. Well, whatever's holding that's got it tight. I'll figure out how I'm going to hook this thing. Without tearing the wire up. Let's try that. Wow. That thing's really stuck. I was hoping it would take just a little tug and get it out of there. So after a little more digging here, I found that it's not stuck in this pile of brush. It's actually buried up into the creek right there. So I got to get this pile of stuff off of it. And I don't know if the wire keeps on and is buried up over there somewhere or what, but we're fixing to find out. I'm about to get my feet soaked. Oh, it's still going plumb over yonder. So it runs on up under the dirt, up in there somewhere. Let's see if I can do this without getting soaking wet. There it is. That thing was stuck pretty good. All right, now I got it out of the dirt. We'll get around on the other side and hopefully we can pull it out. As I was walking over here, this is the first time I've actually looked up close at this tree. This tree's been laying here for a few years. It washed up many years ago. But look at this. It's been burnt at some point in time. So that makes me curious if this thing was struck by lightning or something at some point and then washed down the creek, because I don't know where it came from. But like I said, it's been laying here for at least 2 or 3 years, maybe longer than that. But I think that's interesting. It's been burnt before. All of that right there is burnt. And you can sort of see some charring on the big part down there. This whole time, I've done without getting my feet wet. And I just fell off in the creek and got them soaked. Let's see if we can pull this out of here now. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, so now that I got the wire free, I'm gonna just take this end and run it back up to the fence where it's supposed to go. I'm not gonna hook it up yet. I gotta kill the power on the fence. But then I should be able to get all this right here slackened back up. Get this post standing back up and get it all fixed like it's supposed to be. I guess we've been lucky that we've never had this problem before. It's never been an issue. Okay. Well, it's ready to go once I do get the power back. Well guys, I don't expect it's recommended to use trees as power poles, but I say that right there will keep it up out of the water the next time it floods. That's higher than I can reach. I can still ride under this for the tractor or anything and not catch my head on it. It's up up out of the air. I had just enough wire to be able to string it up like that. Then I've just got it tacked right here. This is loose, so it's got some give to it, you know. I know the trees will grow and grow into that, so I'll have to make some adjustments on it at some point in time. But I think that'll work. Then let's get this right here squared away. We'll go back and hook it all up. Laying right here in the back with me is Tiger. She's been with me the whole time down here. I haven't even, honestly, I forgot she was with me because she's so quiet. You a good dog, ain't you, Tiger? But y'all, can you believe? Well, I know y'all don't know, but for us, it's been 2 years since we got Tiger. She's been with us 2 years now today. So it's amazing how fast time flies. She was a wild little puppy when we got her, and now look at her. I mean, she just hangs out like this right here all the time. As long as she's with you, anywhere in the vicinity that you are, she is happy. But she does get nervous when she's out by herself. If she gets left here by herself or something, she don't like it, but just look at her. She almost looks a little miserable sitting there. But I didn't make her come down here with me. She hopped in and come on. So let's go get this other wire hooked up and get the fence box plugged back in, and we'll see if we've got power. All right, let's go plug it up and see what we got. Well, let's see what we've got here, if we've even got power. Okay, so I'm showing 6 point, okay, there we go. About 7.6. So something somewhere is still killing some power, but at least we know it's back working. It's probably, it may not even be on this net. Actually, let's unhook the net and see if it goes up. No. So it's probably, oh yeah, it jumped back up to 8.7 with the net unhooked. But there's probably a lot of power drain up there on the chicken net as well, because I think part of it's on the ground. So anyways, at least it looks like we've got our net back going now. We've got 7.8 on the net itself. And I can hear it popping now. If I listen, I can hear it popping. So, looks like we got it back the way it's supposed to be. Thank goodness for that. That's one less thing I need to get taken care of here. I'm glad that's back up. And so, like I said, I done this mainly just because I didn't want the deer getting in there eating on them pumpkins. There ain't really anything else out there that's any good anymore other than our tomatoes. We still got some nice tomatoes over there too. But that's one thing off the list. That's the biggest part of our flood damage fixed right there, so we should be good to go on that. Sure does look a whole lot better. Still hard to imagine all this underwater. It really is. But I guess it was.
Come on, Ty. Golly, it washed under here bad.
Man, where did that water come from?
Up under there. It's all wet under there.
I guess it couldn't handle out my ditch up there. Well, I got it all fixed.
Look how muddy it is under here. Did you?
I see. Yep, everything's good now.
Was it too bad?
Got power back on it.
Watch out.
Got my feet soaked in the process.
I bet you did.
But it's fixed.
Come on, Ty. You can get in here. It's going to be deep, but you can do it.
Yeah, I see how muddy that's got in there. Yeah, I guess it overrun my ditch up there in front. There's too much water.
Equality.
Yeah, because it don't ever get muddy under here.
I love the day back.
Well, I'm glad you got it done.
I am too. That's one less thing I got to worry about.
That's right. All right, you going to pour ties?
No, I believe I didn't pour enough in the quart.
No, that's okay. It's
That's
just
about right. That pot's bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's going to be about it for today's video.
Yep, yep. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. Hope you might have learned a little something. And it was just a very unexpected video that we wasn't planning on doing today, but I'm glad it wasn't no worse than it was. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
At least we didn't get 15 to 20 inches.
Yep, and no power outages, nothing like
Yep.
that. So, but anyways, guys, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.